Hello and welcome to my Batchat 25T review. This is the Tier 10 French medium tank, and it is just amazing in so many aspects. So let's have a look at the Batchat. As you can see here, I've named mine the Pirate on the side of the turret and the front of the hull, and I've given it the winter camo. This tank is just all around fantastic at so many different things. So let me explain why. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the guns, or the research tree even, and pull up the guns. So with the guns, you've got two guns that you're going to get. So once you unlock the tank, you don't get a top gun. You actually, unfortunately, have to research it, but it's not that bad a grind. You get this gun here, this 100mm gun from the 5100, and the same that you had from the Lorraine 40 ton as well. It's the same gun. You don't have to play it for too long. It's only 45,000 XP. It's not too bad. You'll play that relatively quickly, as long as you just play it in platoons just to get wins quicker. But the other gun is just the piece de resistance of this tank. You've got 5 shots in the magazine, 2.73 loading time, and a 40-second reload time, which is about 38.3 or so once you factor in your vents and BIA if you get it. You've got 259 penetration, which is fantastic, and you've also got 390 alpha, which is amazing. Having that kind of alpha damage is just ridiculous when you've got an auto loaded with 5 shots. 0.38 accuracy is pretty good. 2.7 aiming time is pretty good as well, considering you're coming off some fairly poor aiming time with the Lorraine and the AMX 1390. So let's have a look at more of these stats. You've got 1800 hit points up here in the top right, 1800 hit points. Obviously it weighs 25 tons, it says 25T. 65 speed limit, which it hits, which is awesome. It hits that under its own power. 42 traverse speed, and it rotates in place. And you also have, now this is the trolley part, 60mm of frontal armor. While that may not look like much, if you turn the tank to about this angle, you're going to bounce right off that, which is hilarious. If something like a Jagdpanzer 800 just bounces off your side, as well as having all of this spaced armor here. So if the shot comes in at an angle like this into your tracks, it's just going to get soaked and do nothing. As well as your turret ring actually bounces stuff sometimes off the corners here, which is awesome. Then we have obviously the shell damage we went over is 390, and once you fire off the full clip, you have 1950 in a full clip, which is awesome. So if you run Batchats in a platoon, or a Batchat with another auto-loading tank of tier 10, namely a waffle, which will kill everything. But if you were to platoon 2 Batchats, you can go in, rush in, kill a full HP heavy tank at a half, and then run away again, which is awesome. It's also got 400 meters view range and 38 degrees on the turret traverse, which is really fast, really good view range there. Signal range doesn't really matter, it's perfectly adequate. If we take a look at the equipment, this is what I would recommend. I recommend a vertical stabilizer over the GLD, because you're mostly nearly always on the move. Vents to cut down your reload, aim time, all that kind of stuff. You can't really go wrong with vents on anything. Then you have coated optics. Now you can go for binos if you wish, but my suggestion is absolutely the coated optics, because the Batchat is not a passive scout. Okay, it's a ridge scout if it has to be used as a scout, or a sniper flanker, anything like that. We'll have a look at some games later, but it is not a passive scout in my opinion. Coated optics certainly the better choice there. If we look at the ammunition, you can only carry 30 shells. This is one of the big drawbacks of the Batchat. You've only got 30 shells, which is 6 clips, which severely limits the carrying capacity of the Batchat. So you've got, well, the way I have set it up is 25 shots of APCR, which it fires as standard, and then 1 clip of heat, just for the lols. I've very, very rarely fire that heat clip, but it's always nice to have it. I think going full APCR, if you're up against a mouse or something and it's long range and he's not giving you opportunities, sometimes you might need that heat. So I would recommend carrying 1 clip. Obviously no HE, you can't spare the shells. Repair kit, first aid kit, and I just had some extinguishers lying around, so they're in there as well. If we go over to the skills now, let's have a look at them. I'll find the commander. Here's the commander. So for the commander, I've gone for 6 cents naturally. Standard, you're definitely going to need 6 cents in this. And then I've gone for camo. So with the camo, like if you have a full camo crew on this, you can do a very, very useful scouting role early on in the game, and then later in the game come in with your full HP and just start clipping things. I think that's that's a big bonus there. And next I've gone for situational awareness for the commander, because he can take radio operator perks, and situational awareness gives you more than recon for view range. So that's awesome. You should definitely take that as well to increase your view range. Looking at the next skills, I was thinking of just going for repairs, because the bat does get tracked fairly often because of quite large tracks on the sides. So repair is definitely advised. For the other two crew members, as you can see, I have it as my third skill for the other two crew members at 70%, and that is essential in my opinion. You really need to have that. So that was the commander. Let's go on to the gunner next. For the gunner, for the first skill, I've gone for camo, although snapshot is interchangeable. You could have gone for snapshot first if you wanted. That's absolutely fine. Snapshot or camo interchangeable, and then I've gone for repairs. I didn't really find, well, obviously Deadeye will be quite nice, designated target will be quite nice. Repair for me is the most useful in this situation. And then on the driver, I've gone for pretty much the same lineup, smooth ride, just to increase your accuracy on the move. So you want to have the best accuracy on the move. You've only got 5 shots, so if you're trying to circle something, you want to be hitting them right where you're aiming them. As a fourth skill, actually I didn't mention fourth skill for the gunner. As a fourth skill for the gunner, Deadeye or designated target is what I'd go for the fourth skill. For the driver, after these 3, probably clutch breaking, if you're not going for BIA. That'd be my opinion on that. Okay, now let's take a look at the research tree leading up to the bat, and it's a very good line, I must say, once you get to a certain point. So starting off, not going to worry about the low tiers, grind through them. Then you have Duck Tank, the infamous Duck Tank. Really, it's just a grind. You're just going to have to get through it. Then you get the ELC at tier 5, and that's not a bad tank to play at all. That is quite fun. You're not going to have any issues getting through that. The 12T can be frustrating for people. All you've got to remember to do is either A, passive scout, don't try an active scout. You've got to remember to passive scout there, or just try and flank. And just go with the mediums and just hope you don't get shot at and use your gun. 1375 can do a lot more active scouting because it's quite fast. Same sort of with the 1390, is a very good active scout or passive scout, depending on how you build it, with whether with binos or coated optics. I personally use coated optics on it, as well as the 90 finally gets a really good gun. It gets a 90mm gun that it can use very effectively. If it just runs up behind someone and starts clipping, you've got, I think it's 1400 in that clip, so that's awesome. The Lorraine 40 ton then, as you see here, I have a tank review on that, previously done, if you want to watch that, as a prelude to the rest of this. But the Lorraine 40 ton is essentially a very fast medium tank it's basically a very fast 5100, just a tier up. Just a huge mobility buff on that, and then you get the infamous bat. So it's a very nice research tree lining up. It's just one straight line. No, it's not like the German tree, which is about 800 lines going all over the place. Okay, so now that I've mentioned everything that there is in Garage, gonna take a trip down memory lane over to one of my replays, of which I have so many in the Batchat. I just have fantastic games in the Batchat frequently. As you can see here, 240 games, 63% win rate, average damage 3000. So bat carry mode activate. This thing is I just love this tank so much, especially playing it in double or triple bat platoons. It's just amazing. So let's take a look at one of the, I could show you many, but one of the very good Batchat replays I have. Okay, so here we are in Northwest. I think this is a couple of days after the patch just came out, in a bat platoon. And you know, you might be thinking, well, there's not too much to do with the medium tanks here, it's just TD Campfest. That's not true in certain situations. If you can utilize the bat's mobility to get around and if you can cover this area and start pushing these guys here while you have guys attacking here, you just completely destroy everything. That'll be demonstrated. So just got to quickly display the speed that the bat has underneath the bonnet. It can easily do 60, no problem, and 65 once it gets going. See, currently 65, 67, 70, because we had a little bit of a downslope there. And you get some great jumps in the bat as well. If you can slope, or even just like the potholes in Roomberg, you do awesome jumps. So just going up to A2, A3, and we're just going to hold that area. It's really all you can do as start game for the medium tanks. Especially autoloader medium tanks, because if, for example, the the Object 140 on the enemy team had come here, we would have just killed them, no problem. So just going to come up, see, regroup. I think we have a T-71 behind us. Let's see if he YOLOs in which case we'll follow him up. I'm just going to try and come around, use the camo crew I have to peek through these trees. That's stuff to kill. There's the Object 140, obviously he didn't want to go down. And this will actually also demonstrate, as you can see, a penis angling, my platoon mate there. He's going back first because the turret is rear mounted. But I've actually chosen to go front first and angle it. I just hope for bounces. And you'll see why in a minute. Once I actually start moving. I'm just waiting because I don't want to go out and just get triple hit by everything. Because I haven't been spotted yet. So this guy makes a mistake, boom. 4-shotted. Killed in 2.73 seconds. That's why the double bats are just so powerful. As you can come out, both of you shooting one target, you'll kill them in 6 seconds or less. In which case they only get to fire once. So I'm just going to reload because I've fired twice. There's no real point keeping 3 shells because you can't do a lot with the 3 shells. You know, you've only got about 1100 or so alpha damage in them. It's going to speed it up for the reload. Okay, and what we've actually decided to do is just go down into the middle and start controlling that area because it's just a peekaboo there, and bats aren't very good at peekaboo. And this E1 and T-71 gets spotted. He unfortunately gets to hit me once. I make some big fuck ups here, but it turns out okay. That's what the vert stab and the snapshot is for. Let's quickly 2-hit that guy before he can do anything. I think he hit us once. Yeah, once each. There you go. FV215B hit me in the track from the rear. Didn't do any damage. That's what the bat's for. That's one the lower plate. 2 bats. No way is he going to do anything. Boom, boom, boom. Dead. He hit me once and penned once and that was it. And look at that. A bounce on the front. It's awesome. Okay, now we notice north has actually pushed up a little bit and the enemies are kind of pushed back to these 2 squares here. So if you go into the middle here you can actually spot all of the campers here and all the guys up here if you're lucky. And sometimes you can get side shots on them if they go near the edge. And as well as if there's no protection here you can just rush down and kill these guys. So there is opportunities on this map, they're just very difficult to find. Now, none of the enemy team is spotted, and I don't think any of our team is spotted, so really tense moment here as we're just trying to probe the enemy base. I'm just gonna see do I get spotted or see anything here. Okay, so there's a Yag Tiger in the open and on his own. So yeah, alright, I've got a clip. I'm just gonna go out and kill him. Just lower plate, upper plate, doesn't even matter. You've got enough pen, especially if he's pointed down like that. I go back hoping for a bounce or something crazy, but it doesn't work. Oh, my platoon mate kills him. So I've got 1 shell left. Gonna see this waffle come out. Nope, go for his gun just for the trolls and reload. There's no point keeping that 1 shell. Might as well fire it, you never know. If I'd broken his gun, that would have been a pretty big asset. So I'm just relocating around here to get a different angle on that waffle. If he comes out, I'm going to be able to hit him twice, pretty quickly, and maybe somebody else will hit him, so I should kill him. He doesn't want to come out though, I think he's just on reload. Here he is. Get the wheel so he can't run. And then the finishing shot. So I've got 3 left. I figure, okay, 3 in this kind of situation, I'm not going to have time to reload, so I need to get these shells in and get my damage. So I'm just going to go, alright, activate the YOLO mode. You know, I've got 600 HP. That VK, even if he hits me, he's not going to kill me. T-30 is the only possible threat. But I'm just watching, he's just fired, and he doesn't have the top gun, so he can't one-hit me either. So this is big. Go in, T-30, T-30, who I set on fire, and then the VK. There we go, so that's 5,000 damage and 4 kills so far, and unfortunately I take a hit from the FV215B up there. Or maybe the Object 140, but that would be APCR, so it's the FV. Just sitting back here reloading, 8 shots left, and then of course my premium clip, which I haven't needed at all in this game. Just peeking and poking. There he is, he's spotted, and he's hidden, so I know it's safe to move up. Well, that Carnivan wasn't safe to move up. That's 4 kills each as well. If we don't die, it's a BIA. Trying to see, can I get an angle on this guy at all? Nope. But then I notice, oh wait, the Carnivan died through there, so I'm not going to go up until that guy dies, so I'm not spotted. And I get spotted again, I'm not exactly sure. I guess it was the ISU there that spotted me, but I'm not too sure on that. Now that FV can one-hit me, so I can't really just go up and take the hit. I've just got to wait till he's looking somewhere else and fires. So I can come up, bounce the first one, but I remember, oh wait, he has no side armor, does he? Yeah, right in the side. He fires again. And as the Object 140 rightly points out, a bat platoon is so OP, and you just get to rock and roll everything. I don't want to go up, he's fired, but my platoon mate is firing, so I don't want to block the shots. And there we go, 5,812 damage on Northwest with the bat. A fantastic game. So let's have a look at a quick look at the end game results. Okay, so here we are in the rating screen. This was my mastery badge for the Batchat. Got a total of 3,738 XP. I believe that was doubled. Yes, it says here doubled, and 94,000 credits. It was 1,246 XP base. 5,800 damage, and I only missed 1 shot out of the 20 fired, so it was really good shooting there. Received 5 hits, 1 of them bounced, which is awesome, and even 2,500 spotting damage. 3.5 kilometers traveled as well. That was with premium account. I made that money. Even without premium, I would have made a 20k profit. So you can make money with the bat, absolutely. It's completely viable. And you've got 93 for XP like a boss. Okay, so let's go over to the final rating and review screen to see how the Batchat fares up on the ratinometer, whatever the hell that thing's called. Let's go look at the scores. Okay, here we are in the final review screen where I'll be giving the tank its scoring. Keep in mind the final score is not an average of all those scores, they're just whatever in each particular aspect. The final score is my own personal score on that. So let's start with the first one, weaponry. The Batchat gets a 9 out of 10 on weaponry. The gun is fantastic. The only reason it's not getting a 10 is just sometimes the accuracy, it's not the best. Okay, so next thing onto mobility. Again, another 9. This thing is incredibly fast. Its relocation ability is awesome. Just fantastic. Its armor, just a 2, because obviously it doesn't get a 1 because of the trolley frontal bounces and the tracks, but that is not reliable. You can't rely on that, so it only gets a 2 there. For carry, it gets an 8. It's limited to it doesn't get a 9, doesn't get a 10 because of the limited shell count that restricts its carrying capability. For the troll, it gets a 6. There's nothing too trolly about it apart from the fact that it's pretty troll when you get clipped by one of these, and sometimes the camo can be a little bit troll, but it's not a 7 or more. And then the final score I've given the Batchat, which is not an average of those scores, but the final score is a 9 out of 10. It is a fantastic vehicle, definitely worth getting, and then once it's played well, this thing is so formidable, especially in platoons. So if you enjoyed this tank review or you found it informative or useful, please give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.